My name is Carson. Welcome to Thrifty Garage, a channel where we do everyday repairs, how-tos, and reviews. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a subject that I've been dreading. Not because I've been procrastinating it, but because I'm going to have to eat my words in this video. So first we'll start off by talking about some tires that I installed on a vehicle and they have not performed very well. They've not lasted very well for the intended purpose that I got them for. It's about 6 months back now. I picked up a set of General Grabber ATx tires for the work truck. I've got a 2007 Chevy Silverado crew cab long bed with the Duramax classic body style 2500 HD. I use it for towing, I use it for landscaping. I tow an enclosed trailer which weighs about 7,000 pounds, and I tow a gooseneck equipment trailer which weighs about 14,000 pounds or has that capability. And I load it with rock, I load it with skid steers and mini X's. I am a landscape owner, business owner, so day in and day out I'm towing a trailer, and that's what I bought these tires for. Had them on my 4Runner. They performed really well in snow and off-road, and I'm often in gravel and dirt roads. In the work truck, I'm often in wet and slippery roads, and I also plow snow during the winter. So I was looking for a tire that could kind of do it all, looking for more of an all-terrain than a highway terrain. But I also wanted to have something that would last well and be durable. The General Grabber tires have a pretty good mileage warranty. I think it's 50 or 60,000 miles, and thought they'd do a really good job. Unfortunately, they have not, and they have not even met half or a quarter of my expectations. But like I said, first let's talk about what I did wrong. Number one, wrong size. So I went with oversized tires just like I did on the 4Runner. I went with 285 75/16, which is a wide tire. In fact, I took these tires to Discount Tire and they would not mount them for me. So I had to go to an individual tire shop here locally, and they were able to put them on for me. So with that, you kind of get more of a balloon in the tire. Instead of having the rim being wider, the rim is narrower, causing more of a balloon, and they're not as flat. So that's number one problem. Number two, I had never checked the PSI, the pressure in the tires, since I put them on the truck. Number three, I never got an alignment on the truck. Number four, I never had the tires rotated. A lot of these things, given the mileage I've got on these tires, probably shouldn't have had been done yet. But I just want to throw it all out there, everything that I've done wrong. So with the tire size, they should be a 245 75/16, I believe. Looking at my next tires, I think I might go in the middle there and do a 265 instead of the 285. Do a little bit smaller, but not quite as small. Even the 265s is still wider than is recommended for these rims. The rims that come stock on these Chevy trucks is only a 6.5 wide rim, which is really narrow. Not sure why they did that, but they are a smaller tire, narrower tire, so that's caused problems. So what have I seen because of these issues? Well, I've seen cupping. I saw cupping in my 4Runner, and the solution for that was to rotate the tires, completely solve that problem. And I've really seen a tremendous amount of tire wear. So let's get to the dirty news. I only have 5,000 miles on these tires. The fronts don't look too bad. The fronts are totally cupped at 5,000 miles, but they've got a good amount of tread life left on them, at least 50% I would guess. The rears are at the wear bar after 5,000 miles. The rears have been towing. The rears have had a lot of weight on them. I'm going to check the pressure and see where the pressures are at. Theoretically, the pressure should still be at 80 psi. I'm not sure where they'll be at. We'll check the PSI, and I don't know if I inflated the front tires up to 80 or if I went to 60 on the fronts. So the fronts maybe held up better with a little bit less pressure, and they didn't balloon as much. And with that balloon, what happens is that instead of the tread being flat on top, it curves, and so your wear is in the middle, which is what's occurred in this situation for me. That wear line is in the middle. The outside of the rear tire still has tread on them. Okay, one thing I really wanted to check was our tire pressure here. So these were on the rear, moved them up front. So they should have 80 psi on them. Let's see what they actually have. Got about 78. First try, 70 psi. Okay, this is the passenger side front tire. We've got about 68 psi on that one. But honestly, the way I found this out, the way I knew that my tires were gonzo is, you know, these tires are 6 months old. I only have 5,000 miles on them. I am set for this winter coming up. I plowed snow this past winter, 2019, 2020. I totally was ready to go into the 2020, 2021 snow removal season on the same set of tires, without a doubt. So, you know, it's springtime. I'm getting out and rolling with the landscape business, and coming off the off-ramp with my enclosed trailer and turning left at the light, and all of a sudden the rear end of my truck slides out, and I kind of surprised me. I just let off the gas. Spent a lot of time as a kid drifting and playing in the snow and spinning donuts and stuff, so it's just an automatic reaction for me now. Just let off the gas, let the steering wheel straighten back out, and the truck straightened out. I didn't jackknife or anything. It really wasn't that bad, but it definitely scared me. A lot less traction than I expected, and I looked at the tires and I was completely blown away with how much tread is gone. I also have had a couple people reach out to me on Facebook through Thrifty Garage and asked about the tires, and I have responded to them in the current situation. So I told them I was going to be doing an update video, and also anybody that was really getting close to buying these tires, I kind of let them know the information and let them make that decision for them. Are these a good tire? They're great for traction. They did great for snow removal. They've done great in the snow and mud. I've towed the gooseneck trailer up a muddy hill, rutted out muddy hill when it was raining, full of dirt, really wet, heavy dirt. And it's done phenomenal. They're really great tires, but all that's for naught if they can't last more than 5,000 miles. So in my situation, in my circumstance, where my big fib was, where my big foot in the mouth moment was when I said these tires are great for towing, because in my experience now, absolutely not great for towing. I do have an E-rated tire on the 4Runner, which is 2 steps above what they call for stock, so it's a really heavy duty tire. The longevity on that one is, I've got a 20,000 mile review on that. It's not trending to be perfect. It's not trending to be the full mileage on that one, but they've held up pretty well, all things considered. They are a heavier tire, and they have effective gas mileage. So I know a lot of guys are running these tires, talking great about these tires, running them in our trucks, and it's really hard for me to do research for a tow vehicle because there are so few people out there that use their vehicles for towing specifically. There's a lot of guys in the Duramax community, the full-size 2500, 3500 HD trucks. They've got these big trucks, but they never have a trailer hooked up to them, and so they don't really know how these tires perform. So looking at these reviews, as I'm now on round 2 of trying to find the best towing tire, it's really hard to know what's doing well. Every website I go to, I'm searching towing. I'm Control F, tow, and a lot of these websites that have these aggressive all-terrain tires, they say nothing about towing. The HTs, the highway terrain, highway tread, whatever the acronym is for, the HTs say towing, but the HTs are for highway. And a lot of the information I found about the HTs is they last great, 50, 60, 70,000 miles towing. A lot of hotshotters use them, but they say the second you start using them on gravel, they're toast. So it's really kind of put me in a bad spot, and I can't be dealing with tires that are only lasting 10 to 20,000 miles, and certainly not 5,000 miles. So let me know in the comments down below what tires you've used in a towing situation. If you know anybody that tows a lot and heavy, I want to know, because I'm looking for the best tire. I've got some things narrowed down. I have searched dozens of websites, looked through reviews, but I'm really looking for a towing tire that can handle some of that all-terrain, and I'm even willing to give up some of the all-terrain characteristics if it's got more durability. Some things I'm looking at is the Michelin LTX. I'm looking at the BFG KO2s. I'm looking at Cooper has something, a Wild Peak. I mean, as I'm doing this research, I'm realizing that there's a lot more tire brands than I expected. There's probably 5 or 10 of the kind of the top name brand stuff that everybody kind of goes to, but I'm finding 20, 30 different tire brands that I can select from. So really trying to narrow this down. Channel name's Thrifty Garage. I want something on the inexpensive side, but I also want something, thrifty doesn't always just mean cheap. Cheap and thrifty are not, they don't go on together with me. You know, if I can buy a tire that'll last 50,000 miles and it costs 50% more than a tire that'll last 25,000 miles, well, I'm 50% ahead. I'm all in. So I'm looking for something that's quality and still on the frugal side that I can work with. Again, I don't know if I'm willing to give up the larger tire size. Part of the reason I need the larger tire size is the front end on these trucks is super low. I have cranked up the keys just a little bit to get a little bit extra height. I've installed Tiberons on the front suspension. Again, a little bit extra height because my plow mounts are really, really low on this truck, and so I need every bit extra lift I can on the front. And the tires was another area where I was getting just a tiny bit of lift. So I'm getting a half an inch from the tires, and I'm getting a half an inch from the Tiberons, and I'm getting a half an inch from the crank and the torsion keys. So, you know, I'm getting an inch and a half, 2 inches lift in the front for those plow mounts. And I don't really want to give up all that and go back to the stock size, which is really small. I'm not a big fan of aftermarket tires and rims. I want a functional truck, but I've even looked at aftermarket rims as an option so that I can get a little bit wider tire. Like I said, the stock tire on this is 6.5 inches. I'm looking at something that's, I mean, even as small as just a half an inch larger, 7 inches or even 8 inches wide, so I can fit that 265 size tire. If I were to upgrade, I'd probably go with 17s. I feel like there's a lot more options in the 17 range. In fact, I think that the tires on my 4Runner are 17s. So I've even thought, since I don't use my 4Runner for off-road a ton, it's more of just a grocery getter for my wife. When we lived back in Utah, we used to go to Moab all the time. So it's nice having the heavier duty E-rated tires. With what we'd use it for, it'd be nice to gain a few extra miles per gallon. We live in the Midwest now, travel back home to family out in the West, and it would be nice to have a little bit lighter duty tire, passenger rated tire, so we could get a little bit better fuel mileage. So I might even take the tires off the 4Runner, put them on 17-inch rim. But again, those are the ATX tires, and they just haven't done well in the towing situation. And, you know, why not keep them on the 4Runner and get another 20,000 miles out of them when the trucks, I put them on the truck and they're only last, you know, 3,000 to 4,000 miles at the rate it's eating up those tires. Again, maybe with the wider rims, you do better. But again, I hate eating my words. This is a video I'm dreading to do. Again, not because I procrastinated this. This is a really recent development that I want to get out there as quick as I can. So with my YouTube channel, I really want to express honest reviews for my viewers. That's the first and foremost, most important thing for me. I want to make sure that the information I'm providing is solid and thorough. I want to give positive reviews because I think that, you know, I don't want to concentrate on the negativity because that's just not fun for anybody to see. So I'm looking at the positive things. And this video, I hope it's not super negative. I don't want it to be super negative. I want just people to be informed in my experience and help them make that an educated decision for them. Are they a bad tire? Probably for towing, at least in my situation. Dirt and gravel roads and heavy loads. If you don't tow in those situations, maybe it would work well for you. Do your own research. But it really was a good tire for the traction and all that. I just don't know if the tread compound's right for what I'm using it for. And like I said, all of those mistakes that I've made. I didn't check air pressure. I went oversized tires. I didn't get a rotation. I didn't get an alignment. All of those things are very important when picking out tires and installing tires. So, you know, do everything right and don't take my 5,000 mile tires that could have gone 10,000 miles or 20 or 50,000 miles with the correct things. If I had installed, you know, let's just take it back to this. If I had installed the correct size, if I had installed the 245s on this truck, would they have been fine towing these heavy loads? Quite possibly. I don't know. So I don't want to send misinformation out there and that these are a horrible tire, because I certainly made my own mistakes that have incrementally led to that. Just like the lift on my vehicle, several different things has added to that extra 2 inches of height. Several different things have probably accumulated and added to these tires wearing out after only 5,000 miles. With all that said, I hope this wasn't a super long rambling video on these tires. I hope it was quick, informative, and to the point, and sharing everything that I have to share about these tires and my experience in using them. Hope you enjoy the channel. If you do, hit the subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed the video, and comment down below any questions or comments, and definitely leave any of those tire suggestions for towing down in the comments down below. And with that said, thanks for watching Thrifty Garage. We'll see you on the next one.